All right, welcome back. We're breaking down the state semifinals here, and Littleton's back in it. Littleton's the little school that could, just 222 in their enrollment for boys in their Division 6 enrollment. They have Stoneham this week, but Littleton gets a win over BMR, a tough, gritty team last week at Doyle Field, and they just always seem, they're like Neshoba. They always seem to be here. Right?
Get the sledgehammer ready to go for the playoffs. And let's, they just, they know how to take the big games. They know how to play. They're just a real tough team. Nothing against BMR. They just had, it's a big mountain from the climb. It was, who do you stop on? It doesn't matter the weather, how windy it is. Littleton's going to find a way to put up the points. Mitch Bowden was one of the 1,000-yard rusher. He's just a bull to bring down. Will Scott is also a guy in the backfield. If you stop Bowden in a couple plays, Scott will run up the middle. Got a couple of yards. He has 500 yards rushing on the year. Austin led Evan Lyons at receiver, so you need to throw a pass. They can come up with it. Braden Lynn's doing a great job at quarterback. Defense is always great. No matter how many kids they graduate, their defense is top notch. So they get Stoneham this weekend. So let's see how it goes.
Mike Lynn's done a great job.
Yeah,
as always over there.
No, he has.
And
they wear you down. Littleton just wears you down. Whether it's Bowden and Lynn and Scott on offense, or the defense, they just wear you. They're going to continue to pound you straight ahead, and it's like a prize fighter going to the body. The first couple rounds, it doesn't pay off. The later rounds, all of a sudden, that guy starts to get tired, and that's what Littleton does. They hammer you to the body, and eventually the tree falls, and that's what they did to BMR. I mean, BMR's up against a team that's really physically big like Littleton is, but they just pounded them, and just wore them down. And Lynn on defense too. Right. Austin Lynn on defense had a pick 6 in the game. They're a ball hawking team on defense, and they're aggressive on defense. They're aggressive. They put a lot of pressure on you, and then on offense, it's here we go. We're coming straight at you. Try and stop us. And then if you put 9, 10 guys in the box to load up against the run and stop these huge backs, then they'll just drop it right over the top of you. So it's kind of a pick your poison. So
they essentially have to go through Eastern Mass to get anywhere, right? Stoneham's the team they're playing, and then Old Rochester Regional is there already. So they have the bye apparently in their side rotation. Of things. Central Mass had byes in D4 and D6 last year. So Littleton is there, and they're back in it. And then in Division 7, I want to thank the Blackstone Valley Tech guys for watching this program last week. It was very much appreciated. They were all over me on the sidelines as they rolled up on Lester a little bit, and they're waving at me and stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. BVT is back in it again.
Yep. Yeah.
They looked maybe more impressive than they did even last year in that win over Lester. And, Arch has this group rolling again. So they have Wacona again, and BVT, the secret to their success, Jim. They just have a blue-collar team that goes out and bangs and hits people.
Bunch of 8-track guys. They love to, do some damage. They're going to fix your car and everything. They're every year we talk about them, because I think Arch and his staff have done a great job building this program up. No matter how many kids they graduate, not a problem. I mean, whoever had a quarterback, doesn't matter. We'll just plug in the junior guy coming back. They'll get the job done. They play the Colonial League schedule. They roll on those teams. They play, so everybody's like, well, you're just playing a Colonial team, no problem. Next thing they got 50 hung up on you. Right. So I mean, I think that's a, JJ and Scott Mackey's a great quarterback. JD and Taya, had a game last week. He did everything for him. Yeah. I mean, that's what especially in a game against Lester. It's a rematch. What did they learn? Lester's playing. We talked about Lester last week, how good they were playing after that Millbury overtime game. I mean, they just, I think Valley Tech answered a lot of questions. They don't care.
No.
They're just going to come in and that's great. You guys had a great season. And let's see what you do against us.
We're going to roll you.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's great. You're cute. You look at you. You have a winning streak coming to the game. That's fine. Here's 50 points. Deal with it.
But that comes from Archie. That comes from the quarterback and the coach on down. And I love it. I love Archie's attitude, because he'll call teams out and say, this is who we're playing the next 3 weeks, and we're going to hang 50 on you, we're going to whale you, and try and stop us. And I love that he's not afraid. And that's the way he was as a player, by the way. When he was at Northbridge as a player and with Danny Brown, Archie was the kind of guy that wanted to start a street fight. Right from the first play of the game, he wanted to punch someone and let's go. Let's have a fight for 2 hours, and had the swagger of, we're Northbridge, we're going to come in here, we're going to walk all over you. And he brings that same swagger and that same intensity and that same kind of junkyard dog mentality of, I want to get in a fight, to BVT. And these guys have followed him lockstep for this. And, I mean, Antaya had his nose glued shut on Friday. Right. The doctor told him, don't play in the game. I don't want you putting on a helmet and playing, because you got this glue thing. It's going to open wide up. He said, no way I'm not playing in the game. He plays and has a huge game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, first of all, Arch, by the way, 2001, he's one of the few guys talking to me on the sideline as Northbridge was going to win a Super Bowl out at Springfield College. And he's chirping at me, telling me what's going on. So
you picked Lester back then, didn't you?
No, I did not pick Lester. I never pick against Coach. Anyway, but this is a group, offense, defense, they challenge each other in practice. It's one of the things that Archie was talking about afterwards. They just challenge each other, they talk a little smack to each other, and they back it up, and they do it constructively. This is a fun team. This is a fun team, and they still got some guys, some youth that are playing there, but they have a good group of seniors that are back, and it's a fun team to watch right now. They looked as good as, as any team I saw.
Only a junior too.
Yeah,
he's coming back.
I mean, he can flat out run. One thing I did notice from the game is defensively last year and maybe this year, teams might be able to throw a little bit against BVT. Well, Anthony Landini, the defensive coordinator, they locked that thing down against Leicester.
He's an Uxbridge guy.
Good throwing team. Yeah, they brought some Uxbridge guys on board.
There's a couple Uxbridge guys that snuck onto that Northbridge staff.
And Landini and his defense did a fantastic job against a good quarterback receiver, a couple receiver combination that Leicester had. They're going to be tough. Wacona tried to throw on them a little bit last year as they were trying to come back in that game. And this defense, I think, is playing at a high level.
Yeah, Tad's got 5 picks. I mean, I think Alice Tashian leads the team in tackles. I mean, they got a wagon there. Nobody talks about because their offense puts up so many points. But look out Wacona. They're gonna get muckled.
I like it.
Oh, baby.
Willie's on board. Willie's on board.
Yeah.
The train keeps rolling at BVT. Listen, they have physical practices, and that's where it all starts. At the beginning of the season, they're going to hit each other in practice. They're going to battle in practice. And so when you get to the games, it's like, hey, listen, we've been fighting each other for 5 days. We're taking it out on someone.
Right.
Yeah. And I am not picking against Blackstone Valley Tech. I don't care if you
want
to
Archie hates when I pick
or
him.
not.
I know
Valley Tech.
They do want you to pick against
them. Love to see you back at Gillette again. And they were thinking Wacona would be the team at the beginning of the year, and here they are. Here's their opportunity. They had to execute, and they did. And they're thinking Mashpee might be the team, and they probably might be the team.
Wacona does a little bit of everything too.
The thing that stinks here is Nipmuc and BVT probably are going to get to the Super Bowl and get to Gillette. So with that, when they play each other on Thanksgiving, neither one of the coaches is going to play the starters because they're going to be playing at Gillette the next week. So I, for one, say, let's let those two teams play a week after Gillette.
Yeah, that'd
both
be a great
schools
game.
hold basketball for 1 week. Let those two teams meet full strength a week after the Super Bowl.
Find an open
Gillette.
field in Mendon and see what
it would be awesome.
That would be a great game. By the way, it's St. Mary's and Cohasset would be the two teams. One of the two teams that they would play. All right, real quick, St. Bernard's, they're in Division 8. They did their job on this past weekend, and St. Bernard's has been impressive all year with the range of different athletes that they can go to on offense, especially, and the defense doing the job.
That's the key of St. Bernard's. You don't know, no matter as a coach, you look at it. Well, who do you stop? Well, St. Bernard's has like 5 guys right in the backfield alone that can do the job. I mean, if you stop like Xavier Marty, Ja'Kai Alexander will take the ball for you. So I think that's really big. Lunenburg had a great season. It stinks to have that. Everybody looks at the Catholic Conference and St. Bernard's and their enrollment. They were able to handle that. I mean, it was 44-7. That was a pretty convincing win of St. Bernard's. They've been doing it all year. They play Hoosick Valley on Saturday, and it's going to be a tough challenge for Hoosick because I think St. Bernard's is loaded this year.
Last year was the year of mercy in the Catholic Church, so
that has ended.
There
was just 1 year, the Pope said.
Hoosick Valley put up 76 points in a beatdown of Neshoba Tech last year, and they were going hard into the fourth quarter. St. Bernard's
and no one in Central Mass, by the way, was crying for Neshoba Tech not beating that, but we can get into that later. But I'll say this.
We've got less than a minute, so
when we talk about all these teams going into the playoffs, we're talking about one thing. No matter what division we've talked about their defenses and how big their defenses played in their playoff, in the Central Mass Super Bowl win. That's with St. Bernard's the same thing. It starts on defense, and any team that plays real good defense is going to have a chance no matter who they play.
The Neshoba Tech conversation will be Frenzy Extra After Dark.
That's right.
Only available
Facebook Live.
on
Check our
Kevin
blog.
Shea's YouTube page.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thanks very much. That's a wrap for the Frenzy Extra for this season. Jim, Kevin, thanks very much. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for having us.
We'll see you at the semis.